No time to waste. It's Ego and Vice.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Raid. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, well, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Yo, this is Mike. This is episode 141. This is Ego and Vice. Thanks for coming back. Right on. So, yeah, second episode of the second half of the 7th season. That's a lot of S's. Hope my microphone's not popping and sissing. But if it is, I'm a little under the weather. But I'm bouncing back. I guess it's a seasonal, kind of head cold, chest cold piece of business. Getting sick kind of sucks. More S's. I gotta stop saying S's. Maybe I'll talk sideways. Not much going on in my life. I've just been sitting on the couch trying to get stuff done. Check out my new EP, Mikey No One, available exclusively on Bandcamp. I'll probably release it on Spotify because, you know, it's what we do, I guess, nowadays. But it's out there, and no update on the Riptides other than we're fucking kicking ass. Well, getting ready to kick some ass. Anyway, on the podcast today, I have two members from the local band, Halfway There. I have Austin and I have Sam. They swung by Southwood Studio, and we sat down and had a great conversation. It's just great to be back. I'm so happy to be doing the podcast again. It's like, I know I took quite a bit of time off, but it's like, you know, it's so kind of part of my life now after 8 years. Well, it will be 8 years. I can't believe it. Without it, I feel kind of lost. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty nice, the first part of the vacation. It's just the end you get kind of bored. So it's like, well, guess I better get back to that. Anyway, I think my cold medication is diluting my common sense. I'm going to play a song from Halfway There, and then we're going to come back with the conversation with Austin and Sam. So sit back, relax, pop a Advil flu. This is Halfway There on Ego and Vice.
August was over as fast as it came. Started a new year without you again. Underneath all the junk in my closet are the letters you wrote after moving to the West Coast. Every eye had a heart for a dart, and you always wrote with those colorful pens. The things you wrote, the things you said. August was over as fast as it came. Started a new year
Hey, we're back. All right. This is Ego and Vice. As I said in the intro, this is episode 141. Also, as I said in the intro, I have two members from the local band Halfway There. I have Austin and I have Sam. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Good to be back. Thank you for coming out to South Hood Studio. The lavish South Hood Studio.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. So, Halfway There. Do you guys have some history in Ottawa before Halfway There? Like, where did you come from? Did the alien spaceship land and spit you out, or what happened?
Sort of, I guess.
I started playing in bands in Ottawa around 2010. I played in a band that started as, it was called The Record Set, and it became Caraway and Landslider. And we put out some EPs. It's kind of 2010 to 2014 when I was in university, and that was super fun. And then I moved away for a couple years and came back and just have been trying to sort of get it back into a band since then. And how Halfway There sort of started, it came out of another band. We were doing covers, and I put out an ad on Kijiji in 2021. I put a picture of Doug Ford with the thumbs up, and it said Douglas says it's okay. And it was like when we were allowed to like start playing music again. And we just played covers in that band, and kind of members came, members went, and gradually we started doing a thing where we were doing just pop punk covers. We played a lot of shows like Moose McGuire's, and then we started working on the originals, and we've been doing originals for maybe a year and a bit.
Cool.
So that's where we are now.
Sam, what's your origin story in this crazy world?
I just joined the band about, what was it, 3-4 months ago, I want to say? Yeah, and I'm not originally from Ottawa. I'm from Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Oh. Yeah, so small town. Came here for university. And
I'm from Thunder Bay originally.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I understand the small Ontario towns.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you wake up and there's a moose in your backyard.
Yeah. That's basically, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I've interrupted.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I've been playing in bands like here and there since I've like moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And
and there, now Halfway There.
And now Halfway There. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I see how this is all coming together.
Yeah. But yeah, like
Sam kind of joined the band, and we needed a bass player, and we had like 2 shows lined up and recording booked, and we were kind of like, hey, can you jump in the deep end and learn the song super quick? We have 2 shows at Targ and recording booked, and he did a good job.
Baptized by fire.
Yeah,
definitely.
Is there any other way though? It's like, okay, it's now or never. So
yeah,
I was looking back at some history from you guys, and the farthest I could go back was November 22nd. Does that ring a bell around there where the bands was kind of getting started? I saw that you did like an open mic showcase at the Brass Monkey.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Were those the humble beginnings?
Yeah. That was sort of around. Around the time that we were deciding we were going to do just pop punk covers. So the band that Halfway There kind of evolved out of, we did like I learned a lesson with that band, which is that when you're a cover band, you kind of have to pick like a theme of songs that you're going to do. Because if you play a song that people aren't into as like a cover band, people at the bar will just sort of tune you out and politely tune you out. But if you play like one song that people like, one song they don't, it kind of gets confusing for people. So we said we're going to do the pop punk thing, and then the first show that we did was the open mic at the Brass Monkey. They have a band, like a showcase band, Wednesday nights at the open mic. Yeah, that was where we started, I guess. Yeah.
Do you think it'd be hard, like for I guess there would be kind of genres, like you said, of like cover bands. Like if you're like you ever see the guy sitting alone at like Heart and Crown playing acoustic guitar, but he's playing like all the hits and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's basically catering to everybody.
Yeah.
So you guys actually chose we're going to be a pop punk cover band.
Yeah.
Was it hard, as a cover band? Did you actually book shows as a cover band? Was it hard to get gigs, being a specific?
Sort of. We were able to get gigs at. There's 3 Moose McGuire's there was at the time in Ottawa, and we were able to get booked at them pretty easily. And we played a show in Orleans. Like I live and work in Orleans and have a lot of connections there, and it was amazing. Like it was like wall to wall packed. It was incredible. It was a dream come true. But then we found that like as the cover shows went on, I don't think there's enough like novelty. I don't think people buy into the story of a cover band as much as they do an originals band.
That's fair.
So we've been finding that with the originals band, we're not having, at least not yet, like that show where there's 200 people and they can't seat anyone, you know, at the venue yet.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like people are more fired up when they come to the shows. They feel like they're part of the story, you know.
For a cover band too, can't you charge to play? Like you say like, we'll play because we'll be your like house entertainment. That was always my idea of like a cover band. It was like you don't book a gig just like you're playing a band, like a regular gig, and you're playing cover songs. You actually like, we're gonna play like 3 sets for the night, and we're gonna be like your house band. There's like, I have a friend who plays in like other bands and he writes his own stuff, but he doesn't make a dime doing that. I can completely relate to that. But he has his cover band and they do weddings and they do fucking bar mitzvahs and they make a killing.
Yeah,
like, there's good
sometimes
money
it's more
in it.
lucrative that way, I think.
For sure, man, because there's no money in like, well, you sell some T-shirts, you might make a couple of bucks as an independent band for a while there.
But like doing the original band project is tremendously creatively fulfilling.
Of course,
in a way that like cover bands are fine. You learn your covers, and there's a lot of advantages. Like I found when I was learning all these pop punk covers, I was getting really good at guitar because I was learning these solos and I was learning these parts, and it really pushed me to sort of learn the ways that good songs are put together, you know. And that helped with the songwriting that came later.
That was my next question, actually. Like, did you always write songs? Like, when did it evolve from the cover band into like, hey, maybe we should just start playing these songs? Like, let's write our own. And was it a mixed thing for a while, half and half, or did you go straight into original?
You know what? Honestly, we used to just like chit chat at the end of band practice, and I think we kicked the idea of writing originals around. But it was sort of like, who's gonna write them? And we'd look at each other, and no one was stepping forward, you know. And then I sort of had a couple ideas. I tentatively sent them out to some of the other guys in the band, and I think Max, my biggest fan, the drummer, he's always saying like, this is every song I write, he's like, this is the best one, this is the best one. For sure. So that makes it like me want to keep doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So we wrote the first one, and then Zach Lachance records out in Rockland. Zach Lachance Studios or music, I'm not sure what his like official.
I think exactly, Sean's studio, I guess.
But he's been amazing, and he reached out to us and he said, "Do you guys want to record a song?" And he gave us a good deal on recording it. And then that was sort of made it like a deadline to be like, hey, well, let's write a song for like, you know, June 15th or whenever we had it. And that was fun. And then I was able to put together enough ideas I had floating around on like voice memos on my phone to write the other songs.
Was that first one Without You Again released in June of 2023?
Yeah, that was the first song. Yeah.
Cool. And you guys wrote that kind of as a collaborative effort, or someone came with a idea? And
the songs are getting more collaborative, but yeah, for the most part, I'm kind of writing the songs. I'll have like an idea, like acoustic. I usually start acoustic, and I'll hum out like a melody and then sort of put lyrics on top of that after a while.
I find that in any band, there has to be some sort of structure for songwriting. I don't think I've ever been in a successful situation where it's like you get 4 complete, like unfamiliar people who how to play together, put them in a room and learn how to immediately play songs together. It is an evolution.
Yeah.
And there's always that kind of key songwriter who says, I got a couple of ideas, or I got a couple of songs, and those are the songs for a while, right?
Yeah.
And then you eventually find your groove and you find your chemistry, and then people start knowing where they can add that, and that's when you hone your style or your sound, and that's when you become. But yeah, man, I can totally relate. And the songs, you kept coming. You had Without You Again, King of the Break Room.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I think that's the best song.
Title. Oh, really? I really like So Farewell. I thought.
Really?
I thought that was a really good song. Yeah.
Okay.
I was listening to them the last couple of days just to kind of familiarize.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was June, September, November. You had Lost Forevermore, and then into 2024, you had The Best Is Yet to Come.
Yeah.
Which is true because the next song was So Farewell. And then just recently in August, you released a new single called Good Times.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. Who wrote their lyrics for Good Times?
Me.
What Foo Fighters song was playing on the radio when you wrote that line in your mind?
You know what? Honestly, I took a trip last summer to Asia, and I find whenever, I don't know if other people are like this, but whenever I go on a trip, there's like a day of panic where I'm trying to get everything ready. And one of the things on kind of my to-do list was like, I got to finish this song. So, you know, my wife was like packing clothes or whatever in the other room, and I'm sitting with my guitar like, I got to finish this song. And no, I just had this idea of like, I just think that the 90s songs have stuck around a little bit too long.
Too long. Okay.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been joking about it for like 24 years that like 10 years ago was 1990.
Yeah.
But like for, you know, 1990 was 34 years ago, right? So
Jesus Christ, that's crazy, right?
so I just think like bands like the Foo Fighters, they wrote some tremendous songs, and I really respect the Foo Fighters, and I really like the Foo Fighters, and there's 7 references to the Foo Fighters songs in the bridge there. So I do really like the Foo Fighters, but it was just supposed to be this guy who's like stuck in the past.
The nostalgia, the captain of the football team.
Well, in my mind, it's basketball.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the song starts off as a black and white photo of how you looked in your glory days. You're setting up for the game-winning point.
Okay.
So it could be football. I think basketball.
Hey,
but.
whatever someone wants to associate it with. I was listening to that song driving down the road, and I was like, did he just say Foo Fighters? And then I brought it up because the lyrics are on Spotify.
Okay.
And I said, Foo Fighters. I wonder what song he was thinking of. Like I put myself in the guy's shoes. I was like, I wonder what song he was listening to. So I was curious.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to.
I don't know, not a specific one. It could have been like some of the references in the there's Best of You, One by One.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's 5 others if you want to go check them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong if you take some influence from the Foo Fighters, because legendary, huge rock band.
Yeah.
Does rock bands get huger nowadays? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I would say they're definitely the biggest like rock band out right now.
They have to be.
Foo Fighters,
Have to be well earned too. You know what I mean? So Moose McGuire's on to House of Targ. He played with Kingfisher.
Yeah.
Kingfisher, great. I know Brent. He was Kingfisher's been on the band on the podcast. Great guys. Deadwell. Do you know Deadwell? No, they're one of the players from Deadwell is in Kingfisher and stuff like that. And I saw that Cafe Dekcuf you guys played. Yeah. How are the shows going? Like I know, like when I look on Spotify, you have about 6 singles out. You guys must have a lots of song, like a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's mostly originals, I guess, that we do, and I mean the crowds have been, receptive to them. So yeah, really good show so far. Like, yeah.
Cool. Do you plan on doing any touring? Do you have any aspirations to play out of town?
We want to. We met some bands from Montreal recently. We played with.
No, we're just trying to be mindful of what the next step is, and I think the next step for that, just so that we're not playing Ottawa so often that people stop coming, is to get a gig in Montreal, Kingston, Toronto, Hamilton, KW.
Yeah, go around. Right? Yeah,
I think exhausting a draw is a very real thing, and that's something that we've always that's always been in the back of my mind through all the years that I've ever played in Ottawa, which is really odd because nowadays there's a certain corner of the music scene now where bands are playing 3 times a month at the same venue and they sell them out with all their friends. Very tight following there. I've been to those shows and it's amazing, the support, and I've also been to other shows where it feels like good old Ottawa, where it's like pulling teeth sometimes. So there's different levels, so I understand, yeah. I think Ottawa is an awesome place to be as a musician or in a band because we are so close to so many little things. We don't have to drive 9 hours out of Ottawa to get somewhere.
Yeah, it could be worse for sure.
Yeah, there's Montreal, Kingston, Peterborough, Cornwall even, you know what I mean? Vankleek Hill has a venue, that type of stuff. I think it's awesome. But major cities, Montreal, Toronto, right next door. Toronto's a little further, London on to Windsor, whatever you want to do. I think it's awesome. And I think there's nothing wrong. People say, oh, we're going to go on a tour. And then they say, oh, we're touring to Europe or we're touring through Texas or something like that. There's nothing fucking wrong with an Ontario tour, man. You can hit a lot of awesome spots, meet a ton of people, and play a ton of good rooms. So tour Canada. Keep it in Canada. Can't afford to play in the States anymore. Just crossing the border nowadays. To get the visa to cross the border to actually make money in the States, it's like $1,400 each.
Yeah, it's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
A member.
They need to change that.
Yeah. Stay in Canada, support Canada, tour in Canada, go see Halfway There. What is Halfway There? Did you already
What
explain
is
that?
like?
No, what do you mean?
No, the name. That's
Oh.
that's a unique
Are
name.
we halfway?
Well, yeah, it's not the Bon Jovi song. That's what everyone.
Hold on. Hold on to what you got.
No, and that's something that's a hurdle we have to deal with for like SEO. Is if you Google Halfway There, it comes up with the Bon Jovi lyrics. But no, it's we were just having a super hard time naming the band, and just one day I was looking through, I was like listening to music, and there's a song on Revolutions Per Minute, the Rise Against album, called Halfway There. And I just thought that was a cool name. And we just said it, and everyone like gave a thumbs up emoji, in the group chat. And he was like, "Oh shit, we solved the band name problem."
Yeah, I like it. Band names it's like a science, eh? Like if you read in certain places, they'd say it's like band nameology or something. Like it's one of the hardest things as a group to decide on. And I guess there's a whole bunch of different tricks and tips and advantage or leverages or some way to do it. I don't know. I think it's really hard. So if you decide on one and y'all like it, it's got to be a good one.
Yeah,
and it sort of hints right at like what your band's about too.
It's open ended. It is like
Yeah.
it's a really cool name. I thought it was really it's a cool name. It's like you could call yourself the Cigars. It's like, all right, I guess that's what that is, right?
Yeah, like any British rock band, I guess.
Yeah. I had a band. I was in a band called it was called Heroes Offer Her. Like just like heroes and offer her, because I'm bringing up Bad Religion for the second time, but Bad Religion has a line off their 1991 Generator record on a song called, I think it's Too Much to Ask, and it says she lives for the advice her heroes offer her.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like that. Those last three words just kind of stuck with me, and they don't really mean anything as their own. Heroes Offer Her, but it sounded like a really cool band name.
Mm-hmm. Like an earworm, I guess.
Yeah, Heroes Offer Her. It's like, what does that mean? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which genre was that band?
You don't know
What's
Bad
that?
Religion?
Bad
No,
Religion.
sorry, Heroes Offer Her.
What genre?
Yeah,
Everything-
It was like metalcore.
No.
Oh.
Everything I've ever played throughout my life has been punk, pop
Okay.
punk, or rock punk.
Okay.
My favorite bands in the world are like, obviously, like Bad Religion, like the old 90s skate punk, the bands that are amazingly still together, like Epitaph bands, stuff like that. I like pop punk, like I'll just vaguely, like bluntly say, like the Ramones and the Beach Boys. I love bands like the Queers. They're just simple 3-4 chord downstroking kind of easy punk songs. D-Cracks, amazing band. But yeah, my songwriting, I am a meat and potatoes guitar player. I like simple kind of guitar with super catchy melodies and something that you can dance to.
Yeah, I don't think that's too far off from what we're trying to do with the songs. Like we're trying to write songs with, lyrics with characters that people relate to, that they see in their lives, choruses that they'll sing along to.
Cool. That's an amazing segue. Why don't we play a song from Halfway There? What would you like to hear?
Well, we just put out a new single, Good Times, last week. So if we could rip Good Times right now, that'd be amazing.
All right, you heard him. This is Halfway There. This is Good Times right here on Ego and Vice.
There's a black and white picture of how you looked in your glory days. You were setting up for the game-winning point. It's all over Facebook, and it makes me sad to think of how that's how you show yourself out to the world.
Okay, we're back. Random question. Who's the bass player?
I am.
Sam.
Yep.
Give me your honest opinion about a finger picker or a pick picker.
What'd you just call me?
You finger picker?
Yeah. I do both. I don't know.
What's the difference and what do you prefer? And why?
I mean, in pop punk specifically, like I prefer probably, like not finger picking, but pick picking.
Pick picking?
Pick picking.
Sharpen your picking. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's definitely like a lot of examples where like pop punk bands do finger picking, like for example, like Saves the Day. I know like the bassist for like some of their old stuff, I think they had finger picking or he did finger picking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the bass player in the Flatliners is finger as well.
Is he really?
I
Yeah.
think so.
How did you get that tone? That's like
I don't know.
I don't know how you
a
get
Sans amp and a big amp.
I guess the distortion is hard to get. I find
I could be wrong. I just
when you
thought he
do
was.
finger picking.
Yeah. I've always been on the side of a pick picker, like pick picking for bass. I don't know. I like maybe just the music I like or just sonically like to hear in the music. I like my bass to clackety clack.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that warm something about it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's different like situations where it's definitely like better to finger pick, I think, but like
Something else
punk,
for us
it's
too,
like,
right?
you know,
Like we're instrumentally a 3-piece, right? Like it's like Nick sings and doesn't play an instrument, so it's me on guitar, Sam on bass, and then drums. So I think the picking allows Sam to have like to fill some space that a second guitar might fill. You know, like you put a overdrive pedal on and a pick, and if like Sam could do some creative bass lines, like I almost said. I don't know if I've said this since you've been in the band, but like that, like the bass lines in this band, it's like you're like lead bass.
Oh, it's like
That's fair.
every band.
I have a friend who plays in a band in Halifax, Connor and June Body. He's the one who came up with that, so I can't philosophically take credit for that comment. But like lead bass, I think in an instrumental 3-piece band fits really well.
Yeah.
Well, if you're 3-piece, your guitar, drums, and bass is the one corner of the triangle, right?
Exactly.
So it's not just there to be there. It's like it's got to be there, right?
Yeah.
That was one thing I forgot to bring up in the very first segment is that can we give a shout out to the other members of the band, maybe explain who they are and why the hell they didn't come to the podcast?
Mac plays drums. What do you want to know about these guys?
That's good.
Okay.
How's it going, Mac? Maybe next time. We'll see you next time. I know you got very important things to do.
Yeah, Mac got held up at work today. So Mac started a new job, and I think it was hard for him. There was a rush or something. I think it was hard for him to dip out.
That's okay.
And Nick also started a new job. Nick sings. So if you look at our Instagram page, like most of the visuals, that's Nick, what you're seeing there singing. And Nick's a really good front man. Like I really like playing with Nick. He just like has a presence that I think makes the show a lot more fun. It's fun to play with him. It's fun to like make videos that he's in because it's like, oh, we're not just standing there staring at our fretboards, you know? And Mac's like one of the most likable guys I've ever met in my life. Like I put him in charge of the shows of like talking to the other bands and being like, hey, I'm Mac from Halfway There, just because he's so like gregarious and likable. And
Mac is a drummer. How many other bands is he in?
Only one, and I'm in that other band with him. Okay.
I find that's the ongoing theme in Ottawa is that if you're a good drummer in Ottawa, you're probably in about 3 or 4 bands.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're stretched super thin. So that's
Mac's
cool.
busy. Like he does like a lot of like weightlifting and. Was it weightlifting? It's bodybuilding.
I mean both, I guess. I don't know.
But I think they're quite different, like their goals. Like, so he's like a competitive bodybuilder.
Cool.
And so he's pretty busy and he's always working. And
Mac the musical meathead.
Yeah.
I wish he was here.
He's always on like C4 and like pre-workout, and he'll say something in the group chat once in a while, and it's just like erratic. And we're like, "Okay, how much C4 have you had today?" And, put the phone down for a couple minutes.
Fired up. I wouldn't want him to squeeze my microphone too hard. Anyway, Mac and Nick, maybe next time we have you guys on, maybe you should come. But awesome. I really like the vocals in Halfway There. I think they're great. They're very I don't want to throw this out there or have it be offensive in any way, but it's slightly emo-ish.
Yeah, definitely love it.
And it's very pop punky emo kind of vocal
we were having like a
vibe?
big debate in the band. Like it was like close to like a band fight at the end of last practice about like what genre we fit into. And
I think it's definitely pop punk.
Yeah,
right?
so do I, Mac, and I forget who was on what side. You know, it was like ding, ding, ding in one corner. You know,
Yeah.
But no, I think that definitely. I think you're on the money. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I think every band struggles with that question. Is like, what kind of music do you play? And it's just like, whoa, and you try and define yourself with a little of this and stuff. I would just say, like, I always just say I play rock. I play rock and roll. That's it, because it's all kind of rock and roll when it all comes out in the wash, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I always put down. I'm in a rock band. I play rock music, whatever.
What I'll usually say is like rock's a good place to start, and then you sort of feel out the other person, like how specific can I get this? And often that's like a dance with two people, right? They'll be like, okay, what kind of rock? And then you're like, oh, punk, and then like, oh, what kind of punk? Okay, pop punk. You know,
I
you
like
get
that.
into the subgenres, you know.
I agree with that too. Rock should always be the first one, and then you can kind of you can whittle it down from there.
Yeah, like lots of people you'll talk to, like I'm in a rock band, and that's enough for them. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
Like,
bass, drum, actual playing.
yeah.
I'm there.
But some people you say rock, and they're like, come on, man, I know my subgenres here. Like,
Okay.
let's keep going.
You
You know?
get one of those guys, eh? A little purist. Oh, you're one of those guys. All right. What is the Flight for Funds?
Oh yeah, that was something that we were invited to do at Broadhead. It was a fundraiser for a pet rescue. I can't remember the name of the rescue. It was like the Pot Cake Rescue, I think, in Ottawa. Yeah, it was a fundraiser for them, and we got invited. My friend Shannon, she was a teacher of mine in high school, and I've worked with her in a capacity as like a teacher as well. And she invited us out, and we played some acoustic songs and mix of covers, mix of originals. It was really fun. Yeah.
Cool. I respect that too, because I put on Ego and Vice, my podcast. I always put on like acoustic showcases. We just did one in December.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I always raise money for the Ottawa Humane Society because I like animals more than I like people most of the time. And they need help, you know what I mean? And this and if you can raise money and you don't know what to raise money for, animals always will be your friend. So unless they bite you, but they don't mean to. They're just misunderstood. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
support. So I respect that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
thank you very much.
Yeah, that's really cool. Cool. So what does the rest of 2024 hold for Halfway There? What do you guys got on the go?
We'd like to get maybe another show in, but no, you mentioned earlier like we must have like a bunch of more songs. We're kind of tapped out right now, so I think we've got to find some time to like write the songs, and maybe now will be a good time to start, like you were mentioning before, the process of things getting more and more collaborative. Like maybe we can start using our rehearsal time to write together, you know, and because there isn't a show imminent on the horizon that we need to prepare for, and we'd like to maybe get something before the end of the year. I think maybe if something hasn't come to us by the end of September, we'll put something together ourselves.
Yeah, that's fair. And winter's a good time to kind of hunker down too, because nobody wants to go out in the winter time.
Yeah, it's a bit
Right.
harder. Yeah.
You use your creativity and use the time where you wouldn't be playing as much as the summertime to just kind of like fool around and write something. But that's cool, man.
We do actually have 2 other songs we recorded in July, though. I don't know why I didn't think of saying that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know.
So
if you
we
wanted
have we have a song, like depending on when you're listening to this podcast, we have a song, "A Wonderful Life," that'll be out probably before the end of the year.
Is that the next one?
We haven't talked about it. We haven't had a
Yeah, we
band
haven't
fight
just-
about it yet.
Oh,
but
right.
but and then we have another song, "Toronto via Kingston." Depending on when you're listening, that might be out or coming out shortly. So have a look at our
would you
Instagram
like to
page.
debut it on Ego and Vice? No,
Maybe in the future. Or?
I don't know. Maybe.
I tried. Yeah, that's cool, man. And you know what? Just write them as they come, and that's it. Or just I don't know. I have problems writing songs too. Sometimes I'll go through like just a flood of everything sounds good, and then I have a longer stretch of I am the biggest piece of shit fucking songwriter there is. I am a fraud. Everyone will figure it out. I'm ruined, right? But anyway, and then it comes again. So yeah, I don't know. And before you know it, you guys are a fairly young band, so to have the songs you have, and they're quality, it's quality stuff. Like it's
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
They're good songs.
Yeah, thanks.
And they sound good, and they sound pro. I don't know. You said you're whoever recorded you
Yeah, Zach Lachance.
did a good job.
Yeah, he's
Like,
excellent.
Sounds good. Sounds really, really good. So.
He fills in a lot of like blind spots I think that we have like really well. So like, I don't know what percentage you'd say, like half of our band practices, like me and Mac arguing about like the drum beats. And he like does a really good job of like communicating between us two at the rehearsals.
He's a producer.
He's amazing. Yeah, I think so. And like just little things like we didn't record any tambourine, but there's like tons of tambourine on the song. So he definitely went like above and beyond for us in those songs. And so I really like working with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a hard thing for songwriters to sometimes let go of the wheel and let someone else especially something that's finished and you've been playing the same way. Then you bring it into a studio and you think you're just getting an engineer who just wants to record it. And he says, do you mind if I just make a thing? Switch just something simple like switch that E to an A, and you're like, and then you do it, and it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah.
It's nice to have.
So
though,
yeah, it's
for
cool.
sure.
And if you're open to it, always have a limit, but be open to stuff like that because you never know. I think collaborative songwriting, it's awesome to sit in your basement and write your own song and say, I've created this thing, it's mine, and stuff like that. But then you take that advice from other people, and it really does make it better. And it's really fun to collaborate. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, the song that we have I don't know if it'll be the next song or the one after that, but Toronto via Kingston. That one was the most collaborative that we had done, and it was like you said, it wasn't so much like it wasn't like watching the Beatles jam, where they're all in a room and they spend 8 hours or whatever,
No.
like working on it. It was like I would send little audio clips. What do you think about this? I can't figure out where to go after this. And someone would say, what about a double time, verse? And someone would say, well, that chorus, like cut that chorus in half, save the other half for the second chorus and stuff like that, like those sort of little tips. And so it was sort of sending pieces of the songs together. And Zach, said that was our best song. So
Cool.
The best is yet to come.
Toronto via Kingston.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I look forward to hearing it. Lastly, on songwriting, I think you have to have like someone who kind of has not a final say, but it could go on forever if you don't decide on something, and it's good to have someone say, let's just do this. You know what I mean? Just have a bit of a general in that sense, but have all the soldiers in line and make them all work together and stuff. Anyway, maybe that's not right, but that's just what I say. If it's always just up in the air, always making decisions, you'll never decide. Someone has to go, nope, this is the way it is. Okay.
Yeah, and that's tough sometimes. Sometimes you end band practice and you're kind of, gripping your steering wheel a little bit more hard than you otherwise might have,
Yeah.
Well, it's a relationship, right? And you're gonna squabble and fight.
Absolutely.
And but in the end, hopefully you'll always, make up and play good music.
Yeah.
Okay. One last thing before we get into
13 questions.
13 questions with the band is: do you have any shout outs or any thank yous you want to just send out into the world for whoever listens to this?
Yeah, I could say a couple. I mean, like I've been mentioning Zach a lot. Zach was amazing with recording. We had a bass player for about 9 months, Kieran O'Day, and he helped out a lot with the 3 songs that we just released. So he should get some credit for like contributing creatively to those songs.
Cool. Sam?
Yeah, I don't really have anyone to really shout out. I don't know. I was gonna say Zach too, but yeah, I don't know.
Some of the bands too that we've played with recently, I think, kind of took a chance on us because we weren't playing local shows yet. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
We're kind of stumbling around in the dark, like in terms of like how do we get these shows? What do we do next? So I know Heavy Lies. They were headlining the first show that we did at Cafe Dekcuf, and I think took us on, and same with Kingfisher the next show after that. And so just like the local bands that we've been playing with, like Speed Bump Sally, and
They were just done.
yeah,
Yeah. I know Eric.
I really like listening to them.
Yeah. They're a great punk band.
Yeah.
That's good, man. And like I said, networking is probably the biggest thing you can do in a band. You guys have been around long enough to know all that. I'm not telling these guys already something they don't know, but for anyone who is listening, network, try and meet as many people as you can. If you want people to come to your shows, you got to go to their shows. It's give and take, right? And bottom line is be nice to everybody, be cool to everybody, because the bridges you burn are the ones you may need to cross later in life. So it's my little bit of advice. Okay. Are you ready to play 13 questions with the band?
I think so.
But it's not always 13 questions.
But it's not always 13 questions.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right.
Time for 13 questions with the band. Yes, this segment's back again. It's called 13 questions, but I only asked 6, maybe 5.
Okay, this is 13 questions with Austin and Sam of Halfway There. My very first question in 13 Questions with the Band is, what was the very first concert you ever went to see as a fan?
Oh, geez.
Sam.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first. I think I want to say Billy Talent and Sum 41 in Sudbury.
Oh, good Canadian act.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or it was Silverstein
Oh, that's
in
completely
Sudbury.
different.
I don't know. Either or. I don't know.
Cool.
What about you, Austin?
It was Billy Talent at the Tulip Festival. Used to have live music.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. And there was just, I can't remember the name of the local bands, but there were a couple local bands that opened, and that was a cool thing for us to see. I think I was 12 or 13 then.
Yeah.
That the local band I think sold their CD at the end, and you got to meet them and stuff. That was really cool, you know.
Yeah,
it's a cool introduction to that. Yeah,
it was like the VIP section. It's like meet the band, backstage pass, right?
And I adored Billy Talent for the first 2 albums when they came out.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
And Ian DeSaw is, I think, hands down the most underrated guitar player of all time. If you play guitar and you listen to Billy Talent, you might not pick up on how challenging it is, but then you pick up the guitar and you try to learn some of these things he does, and you're like, is he doing this on his own? And
Yeah.
He's definitely a unique. He's kind of in his own category with stuff he does. Mm-hmm. I saw Billy Talent at the what's the thing called now? TD Canadian Tire Center, whatever. But it was like the Corel Center or something back in the day, and they opened for Alexis on Fire.
Yeah.
It was the other way around. Alexis on Fire opened for Billy Talent, and the big curtain there, and he started the Devil with the Midnight Mass riff, and it was like okay, and the fucking thing fell, and it was like Devil in a Midnight Mass, and I was like, the fuck is this?
So when I saw them, it was the same. It sounds like it was the same show setup, but it was This Is How It Goes.
Yeah,
that riff at the beginning. This is how it goes, and the strobe. I think the whole back was strobing, and I don't know if he still has the eraser hair, but he did then.
Yeah,
he still has it.
He does.
It was cool.
That's a staple,
I'd never seen them before, so that was my introduction to live Billy Talent, and I was like, this is fucking rad.
Quite a show.
I think I left after halfway through though, because I was just burnt from Alexis on Fire, but I got to see half of Billy Talent. Anyway. We went too long on the first question. Okay, what is your desert island record? If you got stranded on a desert island and you only could listen to one album for the next, I don't know, till you got rescued. 10 years, let's say.
You go first.
I really like, and it hasn't come up yet in any of our questions. I know Sam likes this band, but The Hotelier. Yeah, Home Like No Place Is There. I listened to that, I think it was the only thing I listened to when it came out, and I had moved to a different country at that time, and I almost have a hard time listening to that record now because it's so powerful how much it brings me back to the walk I had to work when I would listen to that.
Sure.
So I think that one. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
seems to be the record of powerful things. So why not stranded on an island?
What I try to do, if you're
island.
a punk or emo purist, you might be offended that I'm saying this, but the thing that I want Halfway There to sound like is Blink-182 and the Hotelier. That's what I want. I want that mashup. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I think you can do that.
But someone's at home and they're like, "Oh, I don't know." That's what I'm trying for.
You know what I say to those people? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So mine. Maybe Is a Real Boy by Say Anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's hard to pick.
You put some Say Anything songs on the playlist that
I did.
we
Yeah,
were
such
trying
a
to promote on Spotify.
Max
yeah.
Bemis stan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What was the first record, CD, tape, or any physical copy you ever bought?
Okay, I'll start this one. I think you're gonna have a lot of people on this podcast. Answering this question, I don't know if they're answering honestly because I heard a lot of cool answers. I don't have a cool answer.
Okay.
Is this the first one I bought with my own money or the ones that my parents bought me?
The first time to the
With
best
my
of
money?
your recollection, you walked into the record
My
store.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Prozac.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good 90s kind of
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That has its place in the annals of history.
Not a cool album. That's what I mean.
No.
People with cool albums, the first album, I wonder if they're being honest.
Yeah, right. It's just like, of course.
Like, what, you were 11 and you were listening to like Avenged Sevenfold? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
So my answer might be.
Oh, okay, you're cool.
Fake.
You have a
I don't
cool
know.
answer?
Maybe, I don't know. I kind of want to say, like, I think it's American Idiot. Like,
That's fair.
yeah.
Green Day, that's good.
I was pretty young at the time.
That is a
so-
record you would buy though when you were younger, right? It'd be like,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
punk rock, edgy, American Idiot. It's all kind of there, but it's great.
Yeah.
I think that's a great answer, and I believe you.
Hey, there you go.
The first album that was bought for me was the Spice Girls.
Oh, nice.
Right.
My sister used to have that one too. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I brought
A lot
this
of people's sisters had that album.
Definitely. I brought this up before, where it's just like you. I don't know if anyone has older siblings, but you kind of, when you're younger, you're influenced by what your older sibling kind of likes.
Mm-hmm.
And before you can kind of choose your own stuff, because I remember when I was a kid, I liked what my sister liked. She liked like Canadian, like Bryan Adams and
Yeah.
like Glass Tiger and stuff like that. And I just thought that was the greatest shit. Right?
My mom taught aerobics in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's part of where that came from, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And like I loved when I was a kid. One of my favorite anything was Billy Idol. I thought he was the coolest fucking guy in the world. I thought he was the rock star. That is a rock star. Like, he looked ridiculous, but I still love him. He just played in Ottawa. I didn't go. I'm so out of touch with shit. Anyway, next question.
No, we're good.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you had a time machine and you could go back to any historical music moment, what would it be?
I'd love to have been like an adult, I suppose, like during like the big pop punk and like fun alt rock music in like the 2000s. And like have got to play with or open with like, Billy Talent Billy Talent would be cool too, but I meant to say Blink-182 or Sum 41. And then like there were a lot of tremendous, just like fun alt rock bands. Like I mentioned the Killers before, the Strokes, stuff like that. I think like I was alive when that was all happening, but
do you have a particular event that you wish you could have witnessed in person?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna think about this like tonight and be like, oh wow, I should have said.
I get a lot of Woodstock
Woodstock?
'99.
I was just gonna say.
Oh,
I get a
really?
lot of that. Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
I'm sure I'd probably have to like look through the calendar of like Warped Tour years, but like I'm sure there would have been a Warped Tour year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Warped Tour in 2011 though, and it was awesome. There was Polar Bear Club, Title Fight, Transit, and then like classic bands like Newfound Glory and. But that was it. So I do feel like I got a good Warped Tour experience going to have seen that in Montreal. But I bet there would have been like a classic year then.
The only problem with Warped Tour is that because there was so many bands, each band's set was only like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is my favorite band. I've been waiting in the mud for 3 days to see them, and they played 4 songs and then they're gone.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Did you ever go to Rockfest in Montebello?
No.
It was similar thing, but like Montebello is just not really big enough to handle like the amount of people that they had there. Like one year there like wasn't toilet paper. Like I don't know if you guys remember that.
I got a problem with festivals like day after day festivals. I can't do them. It's just I'm a city boy. I'm a glutton for my own bed and my creature comforts.
Part of just the infrastructure challenges they had there though was like people couldn't get in quick enough. So I remember like I think I wanted to see Counterparts, and they like I saw like I don't even know if I saw a minute of it because it just like I couldn't get in. Like they weren't able to get enough people in before they had the band starting.
Yeah, the lineup was usually pretty bad.
Yeah. That year was
to
amazing.
get into the
not
like
what
the
you mean.
band lineup, but like the actual lineups.
Okay. Sam, time machine.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Warped Tour because I never got to go to one because I lived in northern Ontario and it was too hard to get down there.
Preaching to the choir, my friend.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was like pretty emo back in high school, so maybe like a 2006, 2007 kind of Warped Tour I would have wanted to go to.
Cool.
That's
cool, man.
Pierce the Veil and
I like that.
Prime Silverstein.
Okay. Emo.
Oh.
What's your favorite rainy day music?
I mean, that's all I listen to, just like depressing stuff.
He's like, that's my everyday music.
Yeah.
What's okay?
I can answer it. The War on Drugs. I like listening to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And what's your favorite sunny day music? Meaning the stuff that brings you down, then the stuff that brings you back up.
I listen to a lot of Motion City Soundtrack, and I feel like that kind of like they have songs that are very sad and like also very happy. So, yeah, it works both ways if I answer with Motion City Soundtrack.
Cool.
I think maybe like any Blink, like maybe Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, something like that.
Nice.
I received that as a gift when I was in grade 5, but tragically after the Spice Girls CD gift.
Right.
Tragically.
You know,
that would have been a cool answer.
Poor Ginger and Posh and Scary and Spooky and whoever.
Spooky.
Good for you. I wouldn't have remembered.
Whoever they were.
Yeah.
Okay, who would halfway there love to open for?
I mean, I mentioned the Hotelier before. I don't think they're doing shows much anymore.
I don't think they're not like broken up, but yeah.
I know they played in Toronto last year.
Oh, yeah.
Blink.
That's a tall order, but yeah.
I don't know. It's like, but it's all like just fantastical questions, right?
Yeah, anything you want.
I'm throwing the Killers in there again.
I'm gonna say the Front Bottoms because why not? I really like the Front Bottoms.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a band from Thunder Bay. Do you know the Honest Heart Collective? Anyway, they're amazing. They're from Thunder Bay. They're a tremendous band. That's maybe a more realistic one. So if the Honest Heart Collective's listening, we'll drive to Thunder Bay for you.
There you go. You can play the Black Pirates pub. Couple more with 13 questions with the band halfway there is if each of you individually could have a drink with any, let's say, musician, live or dead, who would it be?
For me, it'd be Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, yeah, like hands down.
Probably Gord Downey, I want to say. Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
They're both good ones. Hendrix, man. Hendrix and fucking Gord Downey. Imagine having like a dinner party with those two guys.
That'd be crazy.
Right? What a crazy conversation that would be.
Hendrix was like known for being like humble, and like I think it'd be cool to talk to him about guitar and like I guess if you asked him, like people would ask him like how do you feel about your own guitar playing, he'd be like, oh, I wish I could do this like Clapton or this like Harrison or something like that, you know what I mean?
All I can do is this amazing legendary shit that no one will
Absolutely.
ever be able
He's
to
invented
do,
his own
you know?
style and his own chord voicings, but then he's like, oh, but my vibrato is not as good as Clapton or something. You know, I think it'd be cool to talk to him about stuff like that.
I think we're all our worst critic
Definitely.
in one way or another, and I think we all have imposter syndrome to a certain degree.
Yeah, I agree.
And we won't know till we're dead, I guess. So right on. Can't wait for that. Last question for halfway there is kind of a cosmic question. Who is halfway there?
We can take this sort of any way that we want.
Sure.
Okay, I'll try. It's 4 guys, we're friends. We write songs that are fun. We try to have fun all the time, not too hung up on trying to be cool. Catchy melodies, lyrics that'll resonate with your life. We like having fun. Nick's made a rule that we weren't allowed to chirp each other on this podcast. I think that if the two of them had been here, there would have been nonstop. Yeah, like everyone's licking their wounds on the drive home. Like we practice in Limoges, and everyone's humbled. Every practice is like a hockey locker room, you know, like So a lot of fun. Try to have fun, not worrying too much about like being cool or whatever. That's halfway there.
Yeah, I think that works.
All right. I think if you could be in a band with your friends and you all get along and you love what you're doing, it's a win. You can't ask for much more than that. And now you have a podcast to play for all your parents. I don't know. Thank you so much for being on. I wish you nothing but the best. To top it all off, you guys are really cool dudes.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So good luck with everything, and we'll talk real soon.
Thanks, Mike.
Here's a man, everything comes easy. Here's a man, everything comes easy for him. Here's a man, everything comes easy. Whoa, whoa. He's the guy who has everything. He's the guy who won't want for nothing.
All right, that's it for episode 141. Whew. Just rolling along, back in the groove, I guess. Season 7, second part. Y'all. I'd like to thank Austin and Sam again from Halfway There for being on. Great guys, great band. Check them out. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, go to egoandvicepodcast.com. It has links to every place you can hear the podcast. So there you go. As I always say, it's my fortress of solitude, my HQ, my home base. That's it. Okay, bye.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.